Welcome to Sports Review, aka the SR Show. I'm Jesse Valdez, alongside with David Vito, and you're watching the UTFL edition.
Jesse, week one finally in the books for the UTFL. 11 teams in this season. A lot of stuff to talk about in such little time. Let's get right into the first week of the UTFL season. The Reapers took on the Hive, where the Hive really came out and dominated the game from start to finish, defeating the Reapers 26-0. The next game was the fallout. They're the champions of champions right now. No one can beat them, and the War Chiefs were another victim to the fallout today in a 29-0 defeat for the War Chiefs. Next up, the Outlaws took on the Knights in a very close contest, a 19-6 contest where the Outlaws edged the Knights to get their first victory of 2019. Finally, history was made with the Space Force as they got their first victory, shutting out the Wolves 12-0 to get their first victory of 2019. Really good way to start off the season in week one. A lot of fun action for the UTFL this weekend.
There was a bit of a pattern. Zeros. There was a lot of zeros.
There was.
Where those zeros were, on the other side was big numbers. And we're talking about the scores. But unfortunately, there was one game where both teams scored. It was very back and forth. It was very defensive. Had picks on both sides. And at the end of the day, it came down to one pick that possibly sealed the deal. We talked to Spencer Brown. Here's what he had to say.
One of those plays where everything kind of clicks and quarterback kind of read it a little bit wrong, and I was able to take advantage of it, but it helped, turn the tides.
Jesse, Spencer Brown, obviously class act right there. You did a great job interviewing him. The wide receiver and cornerback really sealed the deal, and he even said it changed the tide, the way that the interception helped seal the victory for him and his team. Just what was your take after talking to him? Because he was talking about how much they wanted to kill the clock as well. And that's exactly what they did during the victory.
He was saying it was all part of the plan, and the plan stuck through to the very end. Time management. Even though it wasn't exactly how they were expecting it, it was more of a defensive game than they thought it was going to be. They thought maybe offense would come out more. It was a defensive game. They took control of the time. That's what ultimately won them this game.
And the Knights, they were in it too. They had a couple interceptions as well. It's just crazy how one play can change the outcome of a close contest, how close that game was, and I think it was the best game of week one. But we talked about history was made, where the Space Force got their first win, but despite losing, there was a good head coach in that game that had some great words. Let's go to him and see what he had to say about the outcome of today's game against the Space Force.
We're going to deal with controversy all year long. We're going to deal with adversity, but what we're not going to do is quit. That's what we're not going to do is quit.
That was Oliver Edwards, the head coach of the Wasatch Wolves. He had more of an inspirational take, even though it was very stressful for their team. Just the game of football, sometimes you just don't know what's going to happen.
And sometimes
it's going to go your way,
Yeah, the ball doesn't bounce your way every single time. You don't get every call in a game, no matter whether it's baseball, softball, basketball, soccer. You're not going to get every single call. You're not going to agree with everything that's going to happen, whether it's your play calling or some turnovers that are going on.
They're still a young team, but they're expecting to do something different. They want to make an impact not only on themselves, but to this league. They want to show that they aren't the team they were the first season. They will make an impact, and we will see what happens, right? They will be going actually against the Orem Outlaws, which is a team that has been in this league for a long time. Yes, maybe the players have changed a little bit, but it's a team that knows how the game is played here in the UTFL.
And I think it's a team that's going to find a way to get some wins too. It's such a long season ahead, and with 11 teams in the UTFL, you're going to find so many ups and downs from the season. You got to find positives in these losses.
And there's a lot of other teams. We got the Fallouts that's been there for a long time. They played some good football. Since 2016, it's been consecutively them on top. And then before that, it was every other. They were always on top. They got good players. They continue to have good players. Spartans is another old team. Same thing. Good core players going into this. They didn't play this week, but they will be playing next week. It'll be good to see how that goes, along with the other new team.
And the other two teams that didn't play this week is the Braves and the team from Wyoming. Do you know anything about either of those teams?
You know, I personally don't know too much about these teams. I hear the Braves are actually a pretty good team, so it'll be great to see how far they go and see if they actually can stick with the fallout as well.
And going into week 2, predictions have been made. I believe there's someone you know very well on social media that made some predictions this weekend, right?
Off of the official UTFL players page, Roger Hoodell actually did a pretty good job at predicting what was going to happen.
He did. He went 3-1. He did pick the Knights to defeat the Outlaws 21-6, but all of his other predictions, I mean, he had the Hive winning 12-6, the Fallout 35-6, and then Space Force 27-0. So he was pretty accurate on his 3 picks this weekend that he got right.
And the one that he missed could have went both ways. It really could have. It's surprising to see that, like, just again, it's about the time management, like the Outlaw said, and that's what it came down to.
Well, some big games coming up in week 2. Week 1's finally in the books, Jesse.
Just make sure to follow us on Facebook as well as the UTFL page with the links below. Go ahead and follow them. We will always keep you updated with the UTFL as along with other sports, anything crossing you over from entertainment to music, video games, whatever. You can follow us on Media Crossover Entertainments. But for now, I mean, that's it. You know, we look forward to next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. They say football ends when winter hits. Well, that's not the case, because guess what? Football is a year-round sport, and UTFL is showing you why it is.
Thanks for watching Media Crossover Entertainment. On the SR Show Sports Review, we are plugging you into everything that matters.